While the Obama administration is busy pushing for immigration reform, the president is guilty of not enforcing the laws that are already on the books. In 2013, 68,000 illegal immigrants convicted of crimes were released back into the U.S. general population, even though they could have been deported. But by criminal, customs enforcement wants you to believe that they were just convicted of a misdemeanor or a felony that wasn't a traffic violation. But in actuality, ICE released 36,000 criminal immigrants whose crimes included 193 homicide convictions, 426 sexual assault convictions, kidnapping convictions, and 1,075 aggravated assault convictions. Texas Rep. Lamar Smith calls this a president-sanctioned prison break. And Immigrations and Customs Enforcement isn't the only government agency guilty of aiding illegal immigrants. The Department of Justice has concealed the true reach of Mexican drug cartels in the United States. Amid discussions of immigration reform, the DOJ simply omits vital information that links transnational drug cartels to crimes committed in Minnesota, Chicago, Washington, and other places. And this is, of course, not related to the DEA being busted of smuggling billions of dollars worth of drugs for the Sinaloa drug cartel in exchange for information. And recently, a U.S. federal judge accused the DHS of being complicit in human trafficking of illegal aliens that helps to fund these drug cartels. Now, the DHS says its goal is clear: keep America safe. And in fact, the reason given for creating the Department of Homeland Security in the first place was to protect the homeland from terrorists. But it appears that some terrorists get a pass, thanks to the hands-off list. I'm not talking about the no-fly list that has foiled terrorists like this 8-year-old or this toddler or this 4-year-old from boarding a flight. No, I'm talking about the hands-off list, a list that permits individuals with extremist ties to enter the country on a red carpet. The disturbing details of the list were made public by Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley, who obtained DHS emails. A 2012 email exchange between U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and U.S. Customs and Border Protection discuss whether to admit an individual believed to be a member of the Muslim Brotherhood and a close associate and supporter of Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. The officials were worried, and not because they were allowing a potential terrorist to board a flight making its way to America, but they were worried because this particular individual had already sued Border Patrol twice in the past for violating the hands-off policy. Gotta love that American justice system. And the records of hundreds of terror suspects were also purged as a result of a deliberate DHS policy at the behest of former Secretary Janet Napolitano. As we reported in January, it emerged that Muslim Brotherhood members with ties to terrorism traveling through Minneapolis Airport, New York's JFK, and Dulles Airport in April 2012 were handed port courtesies, with the State Department telling the DHS to ensure the men not be pulled into secondary upon arrival at the point of entry. But they're not just removing toddlers from flights so jihadists can have their seats. No, while the DHS was compiling a hands-off list of suspected terrorists who were to be given VIP treatment to enter the U.S., the federal agency was busy characterizing conservatives, libertarians, and basically any American who cherishes liberty as dangerous radicals. So who's the real security threat to the country? Americans who dare be suspicious of a government that's been busted aiding and abetting criminals and terrorists, or those very government agencies who are now so bloated and corrupt they represent the very threat they were created to eliminate.